Now to a CNN exclusive, the Department of Justice may be taking steps to indict music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Two sources close to the investigation tell us that a federal grand jury may soon hear from Diddy's accusers. Since November, Combs has been named in 8 civil lawsuits, 7 of them directly accusing him of sexual assault.
Y'all, it looks like the City G's Young Miami is getting exposed for transporting drugs for Diddy, and then she tried to snitch on him to Homeland Security to save herself. Now, she's being subpoenaed by the feds to testify against Diddy in an upcoming grand jury hearing. It's been a messy few months for Diddy, and even though Young Miami tried to stay out of it, she just got dragged back into the mix because she was allegedly acting bad with Diddy. New court filings allege that Miami used to transport drugs for Diddy's use, and she partied with him while using them. Needless to say, she's in a whole lot of trouble with the feds, but she has no intentions of going down with Diddy. She's reportedly striking a deal to snitch on him to keep herself out of it. Now, if why all thought that Young Miami was Diddy's ride or die, think again. She knows where all the bodies are buried and has no problem helping the feds dig up the truth about Diddy. The situation is a mess, but let's break this city girl act bad drama down.
We have learned from 2 sources that potential witnesses have been contacted and notified by federal investigators that they may be called to testify in front of a grand jury.
Why all? We all need to just take a moment to exhale because every other second, it's some more drama going down in Hollywood. It's wild that everybody involved in this Diddy situation is ready to spill the tea and point some fingers. Just a few months ago, Diddy and Young Miami were living the high life together, swearing up and down that they were each other's ride or die and promising to stick by each other no matter what. But all that loyalty seemed to vanish into thin air when Diddy got sued last year by Cassie, his ex-girlfriend and former bad boy artist. She filed the mother of all lawsuits and laid out in detail the abuse she endured during the relationship, saying Diddy would often get physical, leaving her with bruises and emotional scars. She also mentioned that nobody in his inner circle dared to stand up for her or speak out because they were all too scared of him and feared the consequences if they crossed him. She also claimed that Diddy used to pimp her out to male escorts. He made her take drugs and alcohol, then forced her to be intimate with these escorts while he recorded everything. But if that wasn't horrifying enough, he would later force her to watch these recordings and use them to blackmail her whenever she tried to stand up for herself or leave him. Cassie finally managed to leave on a fateful day in 2018, though her life was a wreck for a while after that. But she's pulled through, got married, had kids, and built a beautiful family. Then, last year, she got the courage to expose Diddy in a lawsuit, and it sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Now, Diddy wasn't the only one catching the heat. Young Miami faced some serious backlash for even being involved with him. People questioned why she was with someone accused of such terrible things. It really hurt her reputation. At first, fans were wondering if Young Miami was being hurt, but then they were able to dig out an old tweet from her that suggested she was more involved in Diddy's shenanigans than we knew about. In the tweet, she made some bad comments about Diddy's other side piece, Gina Hun. That sounded like she was threatening Gina that she would make Diddy force Gina into a freak-off. She said, "If I wanted you to eat my pee, Diddy would have had you on your knees. You a eater. Gina, you've been down bad ever since I came into the picture. You've been crying for a baby for 10 years. You've been around as a bee that eats P&D when he feels like it. You a eater. You're the same bee that was crying on Tasha K because you wanted a baby. Poor Sushi." This was absolutely vile. Now that we know about Diddy and the stuff that he's into, she was threatening Gina with some type of freak-off. But it definitely got her dragged, and she started crashing alongside Diddy. What made things worse is that Gina once did a sit-down with Tasha K to talk about how Diddy allegedly hurt her and put his hands on her when they were together.
In the beginning, like the first 3.5 years, the first 4 months, he was really nice, but then after that, he started being an asshole.
So when you say mean, describe it.
He was like always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me. He took one of my heels and tried to throw it at me, and then he like mushed my face and like really hard and made my nose bleed.
Wow. And you mind telling me what happened with that pregnancy?
I told him, and he was like, you're gonna get a right? And then I was like,
Ooh.
I don't know. Uh, I don't know yet. And then he offered me 50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because um I just loved him, and I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that
Was with
wanted him for
money.
money. I
Okay.
just care about him, and I just wanted him to be nice to me. That's it. I was like,
Yeah, so when all this came out, this was a very bad look for young Miami. But it didn't really prove anything concrete. But fans were definitely speculating about her involvement with Diddy. There wasn't any full evidence to suggest that she forced other women into anything, or if she participated in any of Diddy's activities, making her own choices. However, suspicions grew that she knew more about Diddy's alleged actions than she let on, especially when she started distancing herself from him. This happened before the other 4 lawsuits against Diddy emerged, making people wonder if there were more secrets yet to be revealed. Things got even messier when Diddy was hit with 3 more lawsuits from women accusing him of sexual assault. The situation got uglier for Diddy, and his reputation took a serious hit. It was at this point young Miami made a significant effort and smart decision to show that she was no longer associated with Diddy and was moving on. She decided to move on from whatever they had between them. She announced that she was launching a new era called Yams, so she deleted all her pictures of Diddy from her social media and completely stopped mentioning him online. But it wasn't just about social media. Sources claimed that she distanced herself from Diddy because he had stopped giving her money every month, and she left him quicker than he could have ever imagined. According to a source, Diddy is no longer paying young Miami's bills. The friend told us that Diddy had been paying for private flights, shopping sprees, and rent for a luxury Miami penthouse. Now, Diddy has cut those expenses. Diddy still bought young Miami a Christmas gift, but he's not as generous as he once was. The source continued, Diddy is not in a good place mentally either. He could really use someone like Kesha in his life. She really does care about him, not just his money. But that money is important, so he has to start paying again if he wants our companionship. So, with Diddy no longer bankrolling young Miami and his reputation in shambles, Miami bailed to avoid going down with him. She probably thought distancing herself would make people forget how close they were, and her go happy signs. But it was way too late for that. Now, Homeland Security is involved and digging deep. She's been exposed for allegedly moving drugs for Diddy. Remember the producer Lil Rod who sued Diddy in February? Initially, his lawsuit only mentioned Miami in passing, talking about her presence at the parties, but nothing too concerning. However, his updated lawsuit paints a different picture. Miami had been claiming that Diddy gave her $500,000 a month because he liked her and she was just good company. But according to the lawsuit, the story is not holding up. It claims that she was actually working as Diddy's courier. The court documents said young Miami, Jade, and Daphne Joy were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs couriers and received payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill, which outlined defendants' ongoing criminal operation. Well, this isn't that shocking anymore, knowing what we know about Diddy and Miami's relationship. But the real shocker was the claim that Miami allegedly used to move drugs for Diddy, not young Miami being a mule. According to the court documents, plaintiff and the Combs Rico enterprise were rehearsing for something in the Water Festival in Virginia. The court filing reads Plaintiff Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs do a few lines of coke in his dressing room. Defendant Sean Combs wanted Tucci's, but Brendan forgot it, so defendant Christina Quorum called young Miami, who then brought it on a private jet from Miami. Why this is real bad, like, a real bad look for her. This is implicating her in a full crime. Talk about acting bad, and we're not just talking about fans speculating anymore. This is some serious federal stuff, and you can bet young Miami is not trying to go down with Diddy. According to an anonymous source, she knows Diddy can't save her now, and she's volunteering to snitch on Diddy to the feds in exchange for walking free. She doesn't want to end up behind bars, which would pretty much be guaranteed if she doesn't cooperate. She allegedly knows where all the bodies are buried, where where all the videos are hidden and has information about more alleged crimes that could put Diddy away for a long time. But if you're wondering why she might feel comfortable betraying him, well, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I mean, Diddy allegedly fled when Homeland Security arrested his sons, so Miami knows better than to depend on him for protection. This whole situation is crazy, and it just goes to show how wild Hollywood is, and how you should never believe what you see on the gram. What do grannies say? Believe half of what you see and none of what you heard. Half of these people are just faking it or doing some really shady stuff to afford what they're flaunting on social media. But why all? According to CNN, there are plans being put in place for a grand jury to indict Diddy based on the accusations and lawsuits that he is facing in the last couple of months. I mean, 7 different people have sued Diddy for allegedly sexually assaulting them, with encounters going back as far as the early 90s. That's at least 30 years of him allegedly doing horrible things to people and allegedly assaulting them. Even though the statute of limitations has passed on most of the crimes, the feds can still bring charges against him if he's indicted by a grand jury. According to CNN, federal investigators are preparing to bring accusers of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs before a federal grand jury, 2 sources familiar with the probe tell CNN, signaling the U.S. Justice Department is moving toward potentially seeking an indictment of Combs. They went on to say that possible witnesses have been notified by investigators that they could be brought in to testify in front of a federal grand jury in New York City, according to one source. Bringing individuals who have filed civil lawsuits against Combs before a grand jury would mark a significant escalation in the government's ongoing investigation involving the producer and Bad Boy Records founder. Well, allegedly, Young Miami has been notified that she will be called on to testify during the trial, which kind of explains why she recently unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. She doesn't want to be tied to Diddy any longer, and she is going over and beyond to distance herself from him. But it looks like that's not going to work because she has allegedly been served a court notice, and the last thing she wants to do is perjure herself trying to save Diddy, especially because everybody knows what he's like. Why all know the street's been talking about it? They've been in the comments saying, "Nah, not gonna lie, there's no easy way out for Carisha. If she testifies against Diddy, he's going to unalive her. She's gonna be sitting right in the jail cell. Yeah, it's curtains for Diddy, he better get the strongest defense team he can find." But this other person thinks that Miami will be facing lawsuits of her own and said, why all saying Carisha going to testify is funny, because when her and his baby mama were arguing, Carisha said, "I'll have Diddy make you get on your hands and knees and eat my pee," she about to be a Diddy co-defendant. But I gotta know what y'all think about this. Do you think that Young Miami is going to be going to jail with Diddy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and then check out this next video.
The Young Miami, Cassie, and Gina. They all had a relationship with Puff at the same time. And maybe some other women too that we don't know about. But you got to realize they were talking at each other and going at each other back and forth, especially Gina and Young Miami. You understand? Young Miami said some things that it's not sex trafficking, but it shows that Diddy had the power to make people do things they may not want to do. Because Young Miami told Gina, "You know you're a carpet muncher, and if I tell Diddy to tell you to eat my box, you would. You would." Now, Young Miami's seen a lot of stuff, and she probably been in part of a lot of stuff because she said she liked to be peed on. She could have been playing. I don't know. I don't know. Don't really care. But those 3 women, they're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. And the investigators are going to ask them. Because they want to know, because Lil Rod did say that she had taken part in young girls being there in a sexual act. So now, those 3 women, Cassie, Gina, and Young Miami, they might be the star witness. Whatever she tell those investigators, she better be willing to tell that to the courts. Because you'll be sitting up like Lil' Kim, you get 5 years in jail, you lied to a federal agent.
How you feel about Diddy Shove? I think she got a lawsuit against him.
Oh yeah, I'm not familiar with the case, but I'm familiar with the story. That every time that he would have his guests over and she had to fix them food after they had they sexapade, that Diddy would, Puff, Brother Love would be naked and she still would have to serve him and watch him. When she bring him his food, he would be naked and shit like that. And she thought that was very inappropriate.
Like, what's the moment where you know, okay, I gotta bring them to meet the family?
I would say when I feel like I love that person. Like I wouldn't want to just bring anybody around my family. I have to love them and have some type of connection. Like where I feel like, okay, I really see this one somewhere, because I don't want to just bring anybody. It's like, damn girl, you got a new. Yes, I do, but I really like him this time.
So what was it like for you meeting the Combs family?
Mama Combs.
That's a big family.
Yeah, Mama Combs. You said who?
The Combs family.
Like the Combs? Oh, no, okay. Mama Combs, I love her. Like, she treat me like I'm her own. The twins, I love the twins. They city girls. Like, they so cool. Like, I love the Combs family.
Like, it intimidating when you met them? Was it welcome? Like, what was the first?
No, it just gave, like, family.
When I heard it first, I was just like, man, she just went and just didn't know how that really traumatized me. And I remember calling you. I was like, like the roaches thing was a traumatic situation for me. And you was just laughing. And I was like, the Buenos Noches, though, I was like, you must be talking about you. You got to be talking about yourself. Because you ain't putting nothing to sleep over here, baby girl. We on Carisha, please. You better get to telling the truth.
It's like real. It's not. It's not but the truth. But I be tired. I work a lot, so I'm a hard working woman. So sometimes I be like a little tired. Do you go Buenos Noches? Like, are you getting put to sleep? Ever?
Have you ever seen me get put to sleep?
That's a different story for a different time. So you ready to get in the smoke?
Yeah, let's get to the smoke.
What's up? You ready?
Yeah, let's smoke it.
I had a conversation with somebody the other day. I said, I'm really, like, I'm a, like, with a W. Like, I'm a.
But define that, though.
Like, I'm a.
Dog asked me to serve Young Miami with this lawsuit. My nigga Charlie C. So I'm about to do it. Bro, my nigga Charlie C. asked me to serve Young Miami with this lawsuit. She's supposed to be in this club tonight. So goddamn, I'm about to do it.
Okay, can I come out?
It's a bad bitch birthday. Her birthday is next week. So shout out to all the bitches whose birthday is next week.
Absolutely.
Young Miami.
Yes.
Let me get this to you. It's a gift.
What is this?
What you just say?
So my homeboy Charlie C, you been served.
Ain't nobody love me like this. Ain't nobody loving me like this. Fuck her. She loving me like this. That's what's up. That's what the fuck is up. That's what I fuck with. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah. As you should. Get up. Fuck that shit. I got some another raise. For real. You want to pick up.
We're gonna go ahead and make love.
What about you, Carisha? Craziest thing Diddy got you.
An island.
Yeah, it's I think it's like he's not really like into gifts. He buy gifts, but it's like he real thoughtful and romantic. So it'd be like the places that we go. Like if I say I want to go to Paris, we'll just be going to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he listened to me, so I be like, I want to go here, and then we'll be there. I be like, okay. So for me, it's like the experiences. It's like we go like
He like a magician.
Like it just be like, it'd be like he'll fill up my house with some roses or something like that. I appreciate that over like him buying me a piece of jewelry or something like that. Cause it's just like, it's thoughtful. Nobody never did nothing like that for me before. Like nobody never filled my house up with flowers, or I get on the jet decorated. And it's just like, it be like the jet, from the jet, it be the house, from the house, it be from the alley. It's like it never stops.
Sugar Puff Daddy. Salute to Sugar Puff.
How the saying go? If they like it, then I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is Diddy and Young Miami on New Year's Eve on a yacht, baby. Let's look at these pictures. Love this green dress. It's giving a lot of money. Drone view.
Quorum brought drugs. Plaintiff and the Combs Rico Emprise were rehearsing for something in the Water Festival in Virginia. Plaintiff Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs do a few lines of coke in his dressing room. Defendant Sean Combs wanted Tucci, but Brendan forgot it, so defendant Christina Quorum called Young Miami, who then brought it on a private jet. It was said in the lawsuit that Little Rod witnessed her do coke with Diddy.
This might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern. And he said, yes. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say. And years later, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. And the internship ended.
I think it is completely effed up for somebody to be like, all right, it's over. You got the job. If you don't do this, it's over. But it's like, if you gave a nigga a choice and he turned it down.
You can't say the N-word.
You can't. Oh my God, yo. And we live. Okay,
Yes.
so if you gave
a person.
Okay. If you gave a nigga a choice and they turned it down, it's like, yo, okay. Like, you feel me? Like,
It's still wrong in the workplace.
It's
though.
still
Yeah,
wrong.
if you're a superior and you're doing that to somebody who's under you, that's an abuse of power. Anytime you're a superior, it's a boss, a person in a position of power, and you're doing that to somebody who's under you. That's wrong.
It's coming out. In his lawsuit filing, he claimed that Daphne Joy and Young Miami were being paid a monthly allowance to be Diddy's sex workers. In my opinion, now Daphne Joy is 50 Cent baby mother. Whatever. Daphne was messing with him at one point. Young Miami was messing with him at one point. They get awarded for messing with him.
Is this why 50 don't like Diddy so much?
I believe this is a big reason why.
I'm sure it's part of it.
That's because that's what 50 used to talk about all the time. He also claimed that Young Miami trafficked the drugs. The filing says that Diddy did a drug called pink cocaine or Tusi, whatever.
I didn't know they came in colors. Somebody put me on the 2C yesterday. They told me what it was.
Oh, you did it?
No, hell no.
Put him onto it yesterday. I was like,
what? If I did it, I wouldn't be here today. I'd probably die.
Right. When he wanted the pink cocaine, but allegedly his drug mule, Brendan, forgot to bring it. So Diddy's chief of staff allegedly called Young Miami and told her to bring it on a jet from Miami to Virginia.
So now she's an alleged drug mule too.
The words that they're using to further try to make this man look bad, allegedly, yeah.
It's just crazy. And that's what Uncle Luke was saying. So basically, Uncle Luke was saying that they just putting extra stuff on top of it. And he feels, his theory is that because he because Diddy sued Diageo, right? That they started a smear campaign to, make him look even worse in the public eye for what he's going through now.